just like hell, just like everybody else. Are you saved? Do you really love God? Do you really? We've seen the examples of those who are called. I thought I offended you and you left. I thought I had my first walkout. That would have been the first time that's ever happened. I thought I had a first walkout. I was going to get excited. I'm kidding. That was a joke.
Takes more than that. But anyway,
at the end of the day, we've got to make sure that our hearts are in the right place. I'm not calling anybody in here not saved. What I am saying is you need to be called into action. Because time is short. Romans chapter 13, time is short. Don't think just because this man's in presidency that everything's going to be okay. Because he can't change the hearts of men. I think he's going to do a good job from the outside of the things that he can control. But he can't change the hearts of men. So we're just as bad in a situation, and you're seeing that. People beating people up. Even Jessica was talking about she's a part of the deplorable page. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means, deplorable. I don't even know what that means, but apparently it's a pro-Trump side. I don't know being called Trump. It kind of reminds me being in a metal band. It kind of reminds like Slipknot. You know, they call their people maggots. It's like it's a cool thing to be called maggots. Like, you know, they'll call their people like a bunch of maggots and they're like, yeah! And so now people are like on the deplorable train and everybody thinks that's like a good thing. I don't know what that means.
Hillary called Trump supporters deplorable.
Oh, okay. Well, everybody's praising being a deplorable. I don't know, that's a pretty nasty thing. But anyway, it's cool. Whatever. And so she's a part of the deplorable page, and she was just like, it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen, is because these people took to Facebook. These people like took it out to go, but she was like, it was just as bad over here as it was over there. These people are just acting it out. But she was like, I went to that page, and they're like, and using all these racial slurs and everything else, and I wasn't going to say it. You know, using all these racial slurs and everything else. Good, Trump's going to send them all back. And it's like, dude, you didn't even pay attention to his message. You heard what you wanted to hear. They heard what they wanted to hear. They heard him say, I'm going to get rid of Mexicans, I'm going to get rid of Israeli or Muslim people, they're not going to be allowed over here. I hate LGBT people. We're going to put them on a cross and crucify them. I mean, that's what you would think that they said from what they believe. But she said over here that they're just as bad. Because you got those are the people that would have fought on that side if she would have got in. Because they're like, F him, or F all these black people, and we're going to send them all back. And it's just like, it's the same thing. Don't you get it? It's the same thing. Because the hearts of man, these people are horrible. Horrible. And she got on there and said, you know what? Just for the record, I'm an Hispanic, and I voted for Trump. And what you're really saying right now, basically what she's saying is you're offending me because I voted for Trump. And you're offended because you're sitting there saying that I need to go. I voted for him. I'm legal. I'm born here. I may be a Puerto Rican, but I'm born here. I'm an American. But you got to over here, and then you got the ones on the other side. That's what I'm saying. The apples don't fall any farther from the tree. It's all the same system. It's nothing different. You can put a different tie color on it, or whatever, blue and red, and an elephant and a donkey, or a jackass. That's a biblical term. It's in your page, Amy. You can look it up. Try to read it up. Did you know that David also had a sexually transmitted disease?
He did.
He did. It is a tangent. It's a major tangent. But I'm just saying, Paul had a sexually transmitted disease. He said, my loins are on fire. It's funny. The Bible is so cool, people don't read it. It's because he was messing around with Bathsheba. That's the whole thing with sexually transmitted disease. God's not a jerk.
That's another sermon.
Keep your Peter in your pants, man. You won't have a problem. Anyway, dude, at the end of the day, man, sorry. Sorry.
I have to do some editing.
I'm just being honest.
I might want to
No,
cut
it's
that
all
off.
Keep your Peter in your pants.
I can edit that out.
God knew what he was talking about. He didn't say have sex before marriage because he didn't want you to have burning loins like David had. Don't be an idiot. That's why I put it in the Bible. It's valid. It's relevant.
Hallelujah.
I'm not even going to do like some kind of special little prayer thingy today. You know, I want you to take a long, hard look at what was said. I mean, we're not going to do an altar call or anything like that today. I mean, if you need prayer, then please, by all means, and I would love to pray with you. But really, I wanted today's sermon just, you really need to marinate on things. Get your mind all focused off of this. This means nothing. What it means is, are we going out of our way to really be there for people who are hurting? Are we really going out and giving the gospel of Jesus Christ? So those are things that you need to think about. And those are things that you really need. We talked about Bible study this past week in 1 Corinthians, taking a strong, hard look in the mirror, taking a look at yourself. People don't want to look in the mirror because they're afraid of what they might see. The things that they tried to push back. The things they tried to push away. The things that have happened in their life that they try to push back and push away. And it's scary to look in the mirror because then you get to see who you really are. And see how deplorable you really are. Why do you think that somebody else doesn't need a helping hand just like you? Who do you think you are? Most of y'all know my testimony, but as I was sitting there thinking about it, you know, when God was taking this thing to the next level of going out and preaching to homeless people and being there for people who are broken and sick, I'm just like, man, I don't know. Yeah, because God, that comes with problems, man. It's just not something you just start and finish. When you're going through it with someone who's got an alcohol addiction or a drug addiction or something like that, that's like not something you stop. You got to walk it out. That's junky. You know what I mean? That's going to require. You know what I'm saying? But then I distinctly felt God in my spirit say, you know what? Who do you think you are? And like I've heard me say, it wasn't like one of those questions, oh, I'm a son of God. No, it's like one of those like, who do you think you are? Like you wasn't a sinner because your addiction was different than theirs. You had a porn addiction that you're still dealing with your wife. You know what I mean? You know, as far as intimacy, because it robbed me of everything that intimacy, true intimacy was. Even affects me where it's hard for me just to lay in the bed and hold her hand and stuff like that. It has been until I'm raising out. That's what I'm saying. That's where it comes from. That's what pornography addiction had done to me. It had brainwashed me of intimacy, period. So then God's like, who do you think you are? What, just because your drug of choice was different than theirs? So I ask you the question, who do you think you are? Heavenly Father, God, we come before you.